All right, thanks for hopping on tonight or listening to the recording in many cases. We're really excited just to have the chance to share tonight a little bit with you about our team and why we are loving just the culture, the environment, everything at Shaklee. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we will just kind of walk you through a few things that we have just found to be really important as we made our decision on what we wanted to do next. So, to give you a little background just on us, we all came from BODi. So, this specific opportunity call, we wanted to create a space where we could just share honestly, as people who came from BODi, what our experience has been coming over to Shaklee. And so each time when we're going to kind of take turns going through this slide, but we're going to introduce ourselves, share what we were at BODi, like what rank we were, what we accomplished there, and then we're going to also share what we've accomplished at Shaklee, just to kind of give you an idea of where we're at now. So let's get started. We've got Kara, Christine, myself, and then Shaklee.
Shaklee.
I really don't call her Shaklee. Kelsey. It's just like in my mouth constantly, that word. All right. Okay, so first of all, I'll introduce myself. So my name is Amber Kuiper, and on the personal side, I have four kids, and we live in Naples, Florida. We used to live in Minnesota, but we moved down about 6 years ago now to Naples. And that was thanks to my BODi business. So I actually got into network marketing 9 years ago. My kids were four under four at the time. And, it was probably like the last thing that I should have added to my plate. I was a stay-at-home mom with so much on my plate already, but I just, for some reason, was like, I need to do this. This sounds so fun. And so I did, and it was crazy. And I still look back and I'm like, how did I really do that? But it was so awesome. And I think for all of us who were at BODi, we have these like fond memories to look back on. And this is an interesting time, because we're in this transition out of BODi. But I think for all of us at our core, when we look back, we're just so grateful because it really did change our lives. Network marketing changed our lives in a lot of ways. And for me, I was a stay-at-home mom, really didn't have plans to build any sort of career, but this just felt right to me to go for it. And so I was able to, I mean, I worked a ton and I loved every minute of it. But within a few years, I would say between 2 to 3 years, I was able to earn a full-time income at BODi. And it was so empowering. It was so fun. And I was able to help my team do that too. We reached the rank of superstar diamond. We were elite 6 times while we were there. And I just loved the leadership side. I loved helping women to feel like they could win, especially women who maybe didn't see themselves in a specific leadership role, but they then were just feeling so empowered to do so. And so I was able to earn significant income for my family. My husband was able to quit his corporate job in med device sales, so he was able to pursue his real estate career, and it was just awesome. And so, looking back, I there's so many emotions going on right now, but I truly think once we get through this, all of us who were at BODi are going to look back and just be so grateful for those times. So what I found though is that within the last few years, things really started to shift over at BODi. And so the company that I had once joined was not the same company that I was experiencing. And mainly as a leader, what was the hardest part for me is that I couldn't help my new coaches win like I did before. And I really struggled with that because I really believed that there was a time when I believed that anyone that worked as hard as I did could have the same success that I had. But it got to a point where I just saw so many coaches come in and they would work so hard and then they would burn out. And it was heartbreaking because then, I'm a busy mom and I know that anytime I ask another mom to take time away from her family, it needs to be worth it. And so that was also sort of this tension in my heart where I was like, I get it. I get why you aren't putting time into this business because it's not benefiting your family. So I was sort of having this internal struggle. I mean, my own income was going down, the income of my team was going down. But at the same time, when you're in network marketing and you build up, you sort of feel stuck, even if you have these moments where you're like, I maybe would like to do something else. The income is so massive that you're like, but how would I possibly, like, how would I possibly jump and do something else? And so I kind of sat with that and I could just tell I was becoming a shell of a leader that I once was. Like I was just not myself. I had lost my confidence. I was just not able to authentically lead in the way that I knew that I could. So finally, this last spring, I was kind of really at a tough place mentally, to be honest with you. And my husband basically told me, like, we need to figure this out because either you're going to just go all in with BODi again and you're going to just be happy with that, or you're going to need to find like another path that's going to bring you joy because this is not who you are. And around the same time in April, my sister-in-law was full-time at Beauty Counter and she actually lost her income overnight. She was a top leader over there, and it was absolutely heartbreaking to see someone so, close to my family, like close to me, who lost everything. And I was like, this hits way too close to home. And that's really, and as I was learning about some of the red flags there, I was like, this is exactly what's happening here. And so, as hard as it was the hardest thing I've ever had to do professionally. I just felt like I needed to protect my family. I felt like God was giving me this discernment that I could not wait. Like I had to do something right then and there. And so I reached out to Shaklee Corporate. Some of the guys at Shaklee Corporate had worked previously at BODi, so there was a little bit of trust there. But I also went into the conversation with them and I said, honestly, I just don't know if I can do network marketing ever again. And they were very kind and understanding. And they just basically said, I want what's best for your family. If at the end of the day, we share this with you and you don't want to do it, like we will not pressure you. So I appreciated that. Eventually, a couple months later, it was in June. I officially transitioned over. And I had had so many leaders though before I left that had already taken a step back that, when I came over, the people that were at BODi, like they were lifers, diehards, they were not leaving, right? And so I told them what I was doing, but I also didn't want to poach. I didn't want to interrupt what they had going on with their team. So I told them what I was doing. But then I made the leap of faith. And it's kind of like, you're supposed to do it, but at some time you just have to take the leap. And so it was scary. It was so many emotions, but I just have to tell you that being here at Shaklee has been such a blessing, not only for me, but for the team. And that's what I'm excited for you to hear tonight is just how possible it is to win here. It's possible to earn your income back quickly here. Regardless of if you were an emerald coach or you were a superstar diamond coach, you can win here. Whether you're a 20 something mom or you're in your 70s, you can win here. I almost cry saying that because I get so excited about the fact that we can be here for decades. Because I always wondered if there would be a season of my life when I would feel like I would sort of age out of BODi. So here we are. Our team has grown quickly, but I only had Kara. Kara is going to share tonight, and Kara was the only one that came with me on day one. And we signed up on the same day. We submitted, I signed up, and then she signed up, and it was like very emotional. I was in Europe at the time where like all the time changes. It was like crazy, but it was exciting. And so really, I'm so excited for you to hear her story because she's winning in ways she never did at BODi. And so you're going to hear from her. And then we've got Christine and Kelsey who were, at one time elite coaches at BODi, and they're crushing it too. All right. So let's dive in. So there's a lot of things to look for, obviously, when you're looking for a new company. You guys all know that you're smart women. So we're just going to kind of talk about the things that we found to be important to us. Hopefully they'll resonate with you. But so one of the things that we're going to do is kind of walk through this acronym, calling it STABLE, because we truly feel like we're at a company that's stable here. So, all right. The first thing, the S stands for skilled leadership. So the vibe over here at Shaklee is different. It's elevated. You'll find that things just feel a little bit more, I don't know, it's just like a little bit more mature, I would say, in a way that makes you kind of be put at ease, in a way where you feel like you can trust your leadership. So our CEO, his name is Roger Barnett, and he has owned the company for 20 years now. So Shaklee is a 68-year-old company, which is really crazy, right? Like you just don't hear of that very often. But it was bought by Roger 20 years ago. And so Roger's a billionaire. He knows what he's doing in the business world. He's a really impressive individual. You can look him up and learn all about him. But He really wanted to give back. He was part of a wealthy family, but he really has an amazing heart and he wanted to give back. So he wanted to buy a business in the wellness space because he really felt like he was passionate about that and it was something that would grow for decades to come. So he ends up vetting out over 75 health and wellness companies and ends up landing on Shaklee. So a few of the things that's really important to me, and I know all of us when we made the leap, was that Shaklee is debt free. They have more clinical studies and patents than any other wellness company in the world. It has had zero recalls, product issues, or stains on their reputation, which is just awesome. It actually has a 0.333 return rate over the course of 68 years, which is also just awesome. And it also is certified climate neutral since 2001, and it's growing financially year over year. Even so, like, COVID was like kind of a crazy time, obviously. But they've even before all the network companies and all the COVID, like all that stuff, like they were steadily growing year over year. So I think that's important to note too. So the next thing, I'm going to pass it off to Kelsey, and she's going to talk about our products.
Hey, I'm Kelsey Shackley. So ironically, my last name is the same name as the company, just spelled different. So a little bit of backstory on me. I am a mom of four, and I've been married for like, I don't even know, 2011. How many years is that? I'm like getting to that age where I'm like having to like count. So we've been married for a while, and I am a nurse. I worked in pediatrics for 7 years. And so health and wellness has always just kind of been something that like excites me, something that drives me, something that I get excited about. So I actually came from BODi too. I know that we all have. And I thought I was going to be 90 years old working out, truthfully. Like I love that company. And it's really hard to even still talk about, to be honest. But like Amber was sharing, is it's just like the company that I joined was not the company when I left, not the same company when I left. And for me, I was also noticing that like my new people coming in and just not seeing the same kind of success that I had seen. And I thought it was me. I invested in three different masterminds thinking it was my leadership. What was I doing wrong? Because from the outside, I kind of felt like there were still people killing it. And I thought it was me. And I held on and I clung and I kept thinking like things would turn around. And in that time, I'm also feeling like I have to like look at other options. Like I just can't keep watching my income drop. And also my leaders were fizzling out. Like my elite coaches were starting to tell me like their income is going down and they're taking a step backwards because the time that they were investing wasn't worth it anymore. And so that was painful as a leader. And so for me, then of course for me, I was just feeling like I didn't believe in the business anymore, the business side. And so I stopped talking about the business. Well, as time went on, I just felt like I couldn't even really lead my team if I didn't believe that they could do what I had done. And so that's when about actually it was a year ago, I reached out to corporate at Shaklee. He was somebody that I trusted because I worked with him at BODi, and they had sent me this pack full of supplements. And literally, after I got the box, I didn't even open it. I told my husband, Dean, I wanted to ship it back. Like, I felt so guilty for getting it because I felt like I was cheating on BODi. And I loved BODi. Like, I loved Beachbody. And so I was like, I can't. So I didn't even open it, didn't try anything. I ghosted corporate. Like, I was like, nope, nope, not doing this. This was in Naples, so I was still living in Florida, and we moved back to Kansas in January, and I moved the box that was unopened to Naples or to Kansas. And so after I'm here, and my feelings are just growing and stirring, and something's going on within me. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll just try some of these things. And that's when I started doing more research and trying to figure out like, is that really what I'm supposed to do? Because I thought I was going to be 90 doing like turbo fire, like legit. And so it was like very hard for me to come to this realization that for me, I thought it felt like it was ending. And so I needed to find something different to either invite my leaders to come along with me, or if they wanted to stay, that was cool too. And like Amber at the time, like I didn't have a whole lot of people that came over with me, but I was honestly very confident in our products because, and that's what I'm going to talk about is when I started testing these products and realizing, like, oh my gosh, I was feeling better. For me, the biggest things that I notice is I have way more energy. I'm not reaching that 3 p.m. slump. I'm sleeping so much better at night. And like I don't know, it's hard to describe. Like, yes, I've lost pounds, like if you look at it on the scale, but to me, it feels more like fluff that has just kind of left that I was like holding on to. And so I feel like our products are so top notch. So real quickly, our products provide quick, notable results, and they are clinically proven to work, and they meet essential market needs in the immediate and long term. We're 68 years of credibility, created the first multivitamin in 1915, which I think is really cool. Most clinically proven wellness company in the world. We've been on every NASA mission since 1993. That's cool. Um, Fueled over 150 Olympic medals. And it's because our protein, like if you look at our protein, it's like the cleanest source. So that's the only protein that Olympians trust. So I think that's pretty cool too. Cleaning products used in the White House. We have 138 peer-reviewed, third-party, double-blind scientific studies, gluten-free, dairy-free, food dye-free, no artificial flavors, non-GMO, and we're beyond organic. So what that means is they test it before it's been made, and then after the product is made, then they test it again to make sure that nothing bad got into it. Which is most people don't do the after the product is made testing. Quality guarantee on every product for life, and no product recalls or quality concerns ever. So I am obsessed with our products. And two, I don't, that's not on here, but yes, we have, obviously it's going to be, we have our pre-workout, we have, our life shake, our build, we have our vitamins, but we also have clinically tested and they're clean, but also clinically tested beauty, which I would underestimated. I thought, oh, my people aren't going to want beauty. Boy, am I wrong. They do. So beauty and then the cleaning supplies. And I'm surprised with how long things last. Like my all-purpose cleaner, I got like it's like a little bottle of it. And I thought, oh my gosh, it lasts forever. So anyways, I'm just obsessed with all of that. I'm going to pass it over to Christine. Oh,
Sorry, there was a delay on my part of unclicking unmute. I'm Christine Taylor, and I was at BODi for 5 years. I hit 5 star and was elite my second year at BODi. And I guess before I jump to the BODi, I should share. I have 3 children. They are very important to me. So one is 15 months, and then I have a 5-year-old and then a 9-year-old. And then I'm married to my high school sweetheart. We've actually been together for 24 years. So we've been together more part of our life than we have been away from each other, which is wild. So anyways, that's sort of fun. But let me jump back to BODi. Sorry, I was like, I didn't even introduce myself. But anyways, on the BODi air, I was a 5 star elite coach, and I actually got to speak at the national wake up call, which was really fun. And it's funny because that was like one of those moments that I was like so excited about. And then to be honest with you, it was not shortly after that like things just started crumbling, and it wasn't, due to that, but I was, one of those moments of like, you're so excited to do something, and then you realize that like at the end of the tunnel, like even though it was really, really cool, it's not like it was like world changing in the way of after the fact, things just started to change for me. So I ended up getting pregnant, and I struggle while I'm pregnant. I get really sick. And after so I just started bringing my customers, and after I had Ella, I really questioned whether or not I was going to dive deep back into Beachbody because I was struggling. And just like everyone else was saying, I was starting to see things change. And I was just sort of like, I don't want to give this my all if I can't be compensated for what I'm doing. Because where I got at was, I was working extremely hard. I had built this business for 5 years. I was a five-star elite coach and I wasn't making that much anymore. And so I really had to look at, that aspect of it and just sort of sit back and say, well, am I going to throw myself back in? Sort of like Amber said, like, are you going to throw yourself back in? Or what are you going to do? Because I couldn't just sit in the middle anymore. And so honestly, I started trying to figure out what was next, but I was scared. And so that's sort of where I want to lead into as I talk about the compensation is I was the part that I was scared the most about because honestly, I'd sort of lost my community anyways, because everyone was fizzling out, like Kelsey said. And so where I was scared was having to restart. I didn't really want to have to rebuild this whole business that I had already done from ground up. And I was like, how long is it going to take me to get to a place to make what I was making at BODi? Even though my pay had tanked, I still had a weekly and monthly income that I could count on that I didn't even have to think twice about. And I knew it was going to be in my bank. And it was definitely enough to be able to support us in the way of something I needed every month. And so, anyways, that was my fear of moving over. And I honestly set on this opportunity for months because I kept dragging my feet and I was like, I don't know that I can do this because I was talking to Amber and I was like, I just don't know that I can do this because I don't know that I can make up this income. You know what I mean? Well, what's wild is it just goes to show our comp plan because within 3 weeks, I was able to make over what I was making monthly at BODi. And I was all worried about, okay, I spent all this time building all this up and then come to find out it wasn't that hard, And so I think it's because I say we, I know others on here, but it's like I don't mean like you have PTSD, but when you come from BODi, like it's almost like you have in your head that the compensation plan is going to be the same. And so it's sort of like you don't realize that there's so much more in abundance out there that is possible because in your head, you're like, well, I know how much it took me to get to where I was. How would I actually go do that in a month? Well, here you go. This is how you do it. So what I love about the ARC comp plan is number one is you can make $75 bonuses for every 3 new customers you have that total up to $500. So even if like one customer only purchases like a $50 item, then like the other customer will come in and back that to make up to your 500. But as soon as you hit that 500 and you have at least 3 new customers in your little bank, you get a $75 bonus. So it makes me think of like when we had Success Club at BODi and you get like a t-shirt, here you get bonus, which is amazing to me and so cool. And so we think about when you start, if you get 8, 9, 10 star bonuses, that's $675 that you're getting just within 3 to 4 weeks period. So I think that is amazing that they do that. Also, you can make 30, you will make 30% on the first 30 days of a new customer. And so I think that's really neat too, because it gets you in the door and it helps you be able to duplicate your income and make a substantial income immediately right out of the gate. So you don't have to spend all this time building because you're able to make a profitable income right away. And so what I also love about this is that like I think about how I'm like excited because I'm like, oh my gosh, I've already been able to actually duplicate what I was doing at BODi and was there for 5 years. And yes, at one point in time, I was making even more. And that, yes, my pay had tanked a little bit, but still, what's so cool to me is that here it's like, this is my base already. And I know because we have an 85% retention rate, I know that all I'm going to do is build on this. And so, like, that's exciting to me because now I can see what my goals were over at BODi. I can see those goals actually being met over here because I'm like, okay, my base already is where I was. So I'm going to keep just going up from there. So that's super exciting. So we are paid every single Thursday, just like we were at BODi. And then the huge thing for me is there's no more Wednesday night stress. I don't know if you're anything like me, but I would always stress on Wednesday night because you have to go into your back office, make for sure that everyone's active that needed to be active in order for you to, either be it diamond or be it 5-star or whatever it be. And then also the whole like volume cycling, the team cycle bonusing. Like I hated when I brought people on and I had to decide, do I want to put on my weak leg or my strong leg, my left or my right? And that was hard because it's sort of like this whole mind game. You just want to run your business. I don't want to have to worry about where I'm putting people and it's going to make a difference in my income. Like here, no, none of that. It's not going to make a difference in your income where it goes because it just goes underneath you and it's just one big little pile and whole little group. And so I love that aspect of it. You don't have to worry about that. Let's see, there's also no there's minimal monthly activity requirements, so that's huge too. Like you only have to have 75 PV and that can actually come from a new customer. So like if there's a month that you're like, because I know a lot of people have asked me, like, well, is there a monthly minimum or is there a monthly requirement? Actually, the answer is no. Now, you do have to have that in order to get paid, but that can come from a new customer. And so, even if you decide, like, I don't want to spend any money this month, you could. But I will also tell you that, like, I know all of us feel this way is that with over 300 products, like, you actually want everything. So, like, I have to keep myself from actually buying more and more. So it's very easy to spend $75. And it's on things that you're already going to be buying anyways. And that's why I think it's really cool. Like, I would hope, even though I wasn't, but like a lot of people buy vitamins already. They buy multivitamins. And so like you're going to be spending that money at the grocery store, right? You're going to be spending money on Tide Pods. Well, why don't you switch that out for clean laundry detergent, right? And so like all of those things, you're already spending that money anyway. So just take that little thing and dump it into this instead and spend it here and it's done. So let's see. I was going to see if there was any more that I missed. Oh, the last thing that I wanted to touch on was the shareable link. So this is also huge to me. So coming over from a place that I felt like in order to bring people on, in order for them to make a great income, they had to build a team. Here, I love this because you don't have to. If you want to, you can. But I actually told Amber I was so burnt out and so had PTSD that I literally was like, I don't want to build a team. I'm just gonna sell because I'm done. And then of course, like I get in, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this. Of course I want to. Like I was a teacher before I did this. So it's my passion. And so I was like, it's one of those things I'm like, of course I want to now. And so I think though it's cool though, because there are a lot of people in this world that don't, and you don't have to, and you can make a great income without doing it. And so you can just be the ambassador and still make a great income and not have to worry about building a team. So I love that aspect of it. And you can do both. But that we get just a specific link and we can just tag it onto our stories. Because I know with BODi, it was really hard for me a lot of times because there was a lot of back and forth to figure out what they wanted to order in order for you to build their cart and send their cart to them. This, you don't have to do that. You have a storefront and you can either pay for it monthly, it's $14.99 a month, or you don't even have to do that. And you can just have a link and you can just send it to them. But then they just shop around. And so you make money overnight and you don't have to worry about sending a cart to people because you're able to just pop your link up on the internet and up on stories. And I think that's so awesome to me. So anyways, I think that's it. And yeah, I'm going to pass it off to Kara.
Hello, I'm Kara. Like Christine said, ugh, I'll introduce myself first personally. I am a mom of four. I have a 10-year-old, a 10, 9. He just had a birthday. So 10, 9, 6, and my youngest will be 2 on Saturday. I've been married to my husband for about 13 years. I got married in 2011 as well, and we live in Cincinnati, Ohio. I also am a nurse. I have worked in labor and delivery for most of my career, but have developed a real passion for health and wellness. And due to my own health journey, which started 9 years ago after my second was born, 2 and 2 years, I joined Amber. She was in a similar boat, just with more children at the time, and I, had to keep up just over a longer time. So, yeah, I joined quickly because I had experienced amazing success with BODi in my own journey and just wanted to share it. And quickly, not quickly, I struggled from the get-go to get my business off the ground. I could get customers, but I always struggled with the team building aspect. Over time, I was able to achieve diamond rank and a few times got team leader and had a unicorn and, but never really could get those that joined to work. So I really struggled with that aspect of it and feeling like I couldn't, I didn't like having to rely on other people to get to advance, if that makes sense. And also to help my income. Like I was doing the work, but the income didn't match it. And it also frustrated my husband. He's like, you put so much time in, but like, are you getting anything out of it? And he knew I loved it, so he supported me. But just over the time, I quickly, not quickly, I keep saying quickly, but that is not the case. As life got busier with 4 kids, I just lost that passion because it just was, the income was going down. They kept making cuts, like our commission was going down, all of that. And while I wasn't making a huge income, it was decent enough that it, padded my bank account a little bit and would cover kids' sports activities or, date nights here and there. And truly, it had never really gotten huge while I had big goals of potentially, leaving the bedside, things like that. It just wasn't there. And I quickly saw that the opportunity was dwindling. So I just was like, like, why try? But I didn't want to give up showing up either, whether that be on social media, because I knew people were watching and looked to me for that support. But I also didn't want to leave the community aspect of it. So I always really enjoyed that. I will say that I always have believed in my ability to be a leader. It is something that I have been, it's a gift that has been spoken over me and into me my entire life. So it was a struggle for me to not be able to do that and replicate that in that space. So when Amber first shared about Shaklee, I was like, oh my gosh, like, yes, like she wasn't even sharing with me to invite me to the opportunity, but she shared and I was like, well, I'm gonna go do that. So, waited, we talked it out and I jumped, like she said, and day one, and I quickly, I would say, I was able to experience the growth that I desired and worked hard for at BODi. I did that in a fraction of the time at Shaklee. I was able to achieve director rank in month one, earning the quarterly incentive in 1 month, not 4. I quickly became a top seller on our team, which has grown rapidly. My income in 2 months doubled what I had made in 6. So that it's not all income. We all have this passion for wellness and teaching people and all of that, but also we have a passion for helping people win, especially in this economy and everything. We're all looking out for others and our families. So any extra always helps. And being able to build here is, it's a gift and it's a special place. And yeah, so I'm going to talk to you about why I think it's the built-in support is the B in stable, and it is just one more aspect of why to love this company besides compensation. And when I first started digging around in our back office, I remember texting Amber constantly, like, oh my gosh, did you see this? Did you see this? Did you see this? They have all of this stuff. And I actually have to stop myself from going down the rabbit holes because my brain will go a million miles a minute and I will want to plan all of the groups that I probably can't carry out tomorrow. So they really emphasize community values, incentives, and they like all of their stuff is helping us to retain our customers and bring on new customers. There is trainings, so many trainings that you can't keep up. Like there is trainings from doctors and people in the company, so business side of thing, but also really truly educating us on how we can help others, whether that be with hormones or cancer or if they're on a GLP-1, like it is a wealth of information and information I feel comfortable and confident sharing with others that is safe, good information from all aspects. So we simplify the opportunity by making by providing compliant and professional graphics, wellness resources, ebooks, group guides, and promotional graphics each month. There is no more creating them for your team. There is no more having to buy them on Etsy. They're all there in your back office and they are gorgeous. Everything is modern, beautiful. The tech is super simple and easy to navigate. For being a millennial, I am horrible at technology and have found it almost 99% easy. But that's my own problem. They have apps that offer support, education that you can then share with your customers in these apps. The customer service here, guys, is bar none. It is old school customer service. It is like the customer is always right. There is no issue. Personal experience, I accidentally ordered a product that I didn't mean to. I, of course, was like, oh, I'll try it. Why not? It's banana flavored and it was bananas, not my jam. So I tried it and I was like, oh, and messaged customer service on like a chat and they were like, oh, no problem. We'll refund your money right away so you can purchase what you want. Didn't ask for it back, nothing. It was like the easiest when I've talked on the phone with people. Just so pleasant and easy. I will also say too, it's been really cool to have the recognition since I'm talking about customer service because I have called my corporate mentor and contacted him and contacted me right away. Called me via Facebook Messenger and was like, hey, I can handle that, no problem. Just a customer hadn't gotten something that they were supposed to and made it happen. Lickety split, no issues. He was able to find she had already contacted customer service. Like they all worked to fix the problem in a rapid time frame. And that customer is still my customer and has placed multiple repeat orders. And it was somebody I don't know. So to have that confidence that they are going to make their experience great is amazing. The resources are constantly being added and they're making sure that they're keeping up with what the buzz is in the health world. So like when GLP-1s became popular, they have supplements to help support that. They have hormone support. They have all of those things. And I think the graphics and all of the support really reflects that. And then also we have monthly promotions and sales that to support our growth and including customer retention. So they can often get those special deals, friends and family sales, and then just new bundles each month. And then also really cool, we can create our own bundles as well in our storefront. So if you want to run your own special promotion or a group surrounding certain products, you can create that for your team. And we've done that on our team for our monthly group that we run. So super fun to be able to do that. I'm actually going to pass it back to Christine now.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about long-term and short-term incentives, which Kara actually just said how she earned the quarterly incentive in 1 month. And that is what I think is so cool, is that no matter where you're at in the business, whether or not you want to be someone that goes to the very top, or you want to be someone who just stays as an ambassador and share a link with friends and family, what I love about it is that our incentives are all so touchable. They're all I don't mean the word easy, like you still have to do something, but like they're so attainable. And I love that because I got to a place inside of BODi because I still had like a very successful team, but yet I wasn't necessarily growing my business anymore because I had a baby and I literally stopped recruiting at all. Um, but because I wasn't recruiting anymore, I like couldn't earn some of the incentives anymore. And I was like, well, that's sort of a bummer because I worked really hard to be here. And I was still working hard, but just more on the customer side. That's what I love is that they still give you the ability to earn the incentives just by working on the customer side. So anyways, we have amazing quarterly incentives. So like this month we can earn the Vitamix blender, which I think is so amazing because like it's expensive. And I know Kelsey's like, yes, I'm like, that's what I want because I've actually always wanted one and I've never bought one because they're expensive. And so I think that's so cool that honestly that we are still gifted for doing our hard work, I guess you could say, because I actually missed that inside of BODi. They were dropping all that off because when I first came on, they were still doing some of that. And I will never forget I got an Apple Watch and I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. And I don't know if you're anything like me, but a lot of times it's gifts that like we don't really want to spend our own money on. So it's like feels so awesome to be gifted it. And so anyways, I love that they're so attainable and you just come in and work your business, you're going to get them. And then also that we get to earn trips again. And Amber has said the trips she has heard are incredible and they're just like top notch, a little step above, like just really well done. And it's crazy because I will most likely, I mean, I'm putting it down now, will earn the trip for April of next year. And I came on in September. And so I'm like, that just goes to show like what's possible. And the thing is that anyone now that comes on, you will be able to have the whole entire year next year to earn it. And so it's everyone can earn it. You know what I mean? And so that's what I love about it. And then obviously I already talked on our monthly Star Club bonuses. That's for every 3 new customers, you get the $75 bonus once you hit to that $500 mark. So that's just such a great, great incentive. And then let's see if there's anything else that I missed. Amber saying something. Let me see. I was going to make for sure. The trip, the monthly incentives. Oh yeah. And like, I was even thinking about Amber because Amber got the Yeti cooler. And so I was like, they need to bring back that because I actually do not have a Yeti and I would love to have one. And it's one thing I will not buy myself. And so I'm like, can someone gift that again? But anyways, okay. So Amber said, and there may even be a special way to he'll earn the trip this year with newbies. Okay. Okay. Awesome. Because I did not know that. So that's awesome. So that is that. But I just want you to know that like it is really cool the incentives that we are given because I know that we had lost that. And it really is like was sort of a bummer. I really looked forward to getting to earn the extra things I didn't want to spend my money on. And now I'm gonna pass it off to Amber.
All right, we have just a few more things to chat about, but this one is really important. So the E is effective mentorship, and I think that is so key in being able to scale a business quickly. I've always believed that like you can learn more and do more face to face with someone on a Zoom call than you can just reading, a PDF or a training or whatever. And we definitely have both. We have systems, we have an onboarding system, we know like how to help you have success and all of that. But one thing that we really value is making sure that everyone on our team is seen because we don't want you to feel like a number. We don't want you to feel like, oh my gosh, there's so many people and like, does she even notice me? I believe that every single person on our team matters. Whether you have goals to build a huge business or you want to sell a few things to your friends and family, to me, you matter the same because of who you are. And so that is one thing that on our team, I've been praying ever since I jumped over here that God would just bring people that value that onto our team too. And it has been really neat to see him be so faithful in that and just the vibe and the culture on our team of people truly caring. And so, on our team, that is something that we really do value is that one-on-one piece. I also wanted to touch on just the fact that even the company has more opportunities too. The corporate, like I'll be honest, like I found at times at BODi that I was like seen by corporate if I was the top hot thing, right? So like in the beginning, in the first couple of years, I was growing really fast and I got to like number 11 in the company one year, things like that. And I was like, corporate was always reaching out to me. And that's really fun, except for when you're not the top shiny person and then you're still working your butt off to grow your team and doing all the things. And it's sort of like you're a B class citizen and you don't get noticed as much. And yet you still bring an immense amount of value. So here, corporate really does see you. And that's something that even as we grow, they are very passionate about like that. Because I was nervous about that because I was just like, I can't trust people again. Like it was sort of hard for me. Even though I knew these guys, I was kind of like a little hesitant because I had been hurt kind of in that way. And so anyway, I really do value the fact that they see everybody and they notice. Like Kara said, when she got to director, Robbie Carter reached out to her and said congratulations and little things like that. Like they are just very intentional here. And you're going to feel too like you're part of a community and part of an upline. So my upline actually was the first person to ever move over from BODi, and she has spent the last 3 years helping Shaklee to actually be ready for this transition because she's just helped them with different systems and she piloted the compensation plan. So, she's a great source of knowledge. I'm constantly just like asking her things more about the history of the company and different things as far as like, how did this happen or things like that. So that's been nice to have her. But then even above her, we have people who have been here for decades, and I just think that is so neat because we have this place that we can ask questions. And what you'll find here is that the questions are a lot deeper when it comes to product because you have so many products. And so what you're going to find is that you'll have people coming to you and they're going to like give you their symptoms, right? So they're going to be like, you know what? I'm bloated. I'm low on energy. Like I have this thyroid thing going on. And, all of a sudden they're like, so what do you have that could help me with that? And then you sort of go, oh yeah, we have like 300 products, but what exactly should I be telling this person? Well, I love that we have an established upline team that has been here for a long time where there are these sweet, precious women, and you pop a question in the chat, and they are back at you with not only a recommendation, but oftentimes they will have a story to accommodate of like how a friend of theirs or a customer of theirs actually was helped. And so I think there's a lot of wisdom to be learned from people that have been here longer than us. And that is another reason why I love, our team specifically. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. But regardless of who you are, like you matter here. And that is something that, we will make a top priority always. All right, I'm going to pass it over to Kelsey to start to wrap us up.
Oh my gosh. And then I forgot to like you say all my stuff from BODi. I introduced
Oh
myself.
yeah. Say it now, Kels. It's not too late.
All right, real quick. 10 star, I had 3 business centers, 10 star, 2 star, and then diamond. Elite 5 times. I hit like top 25 and legacy club, millions club. And I think that's it. 100 success club 100. I did that.
Yes, so awesome. So many amazing things. I love that. You're such a rock star.
I forgot to share all that. So, anyways, and then two, I want to recap, but I want to make sure like everyone understands like diamond to get to diamond as from BODi, it was all coaches, right? Or partners, and everyone had to be active, and there had to be an emerald on this leg and an emerald on this leg. Literally over here, picture a big bucket. You're in the bucket. Part of that volume, you have to have 2,000 in volume, is from your own orders. It can just come from customers. It doesn't have to come from one team member. And that's what we were saying is over here with the affiliate side, you can literally get to the first leadership rung at Shaklee with customers, which I think is so cool. So recapping real quick. So now maybe you're wondering what's next or how to get started. Shaklee makes it super simple to get started in your business. So you can reach out to the person, of course, that invited you to this call. But we have like 2 big packages. And they're so good because they're just marked down so much. There's such a discount with them. And so the Ready Set Wellness Bundle is one of them, which is my personal favorite because it comes with personalized vitamins. It comes with 2 bags of our Life Shake and then like another item that you can pick, which I always recommend the 7-day cleanse, but there's all amazing products. And you can actually only get that the first
Pinky promise. 5 o'clock. Okay. Actually,
So you can only get that as a first time customer. And then any order over right now, at least this month, any order over $100, your business kit is normally 50, but it's actually 50% off. So with that, for example, if you did $100 worth of product, then you would pay $25 for your business kit versus the 50. So yeah, am I missing anything, Amber, on that?
No, that's it. Keeping it super simple. So yeah, here, you can start. The Ready Set Wellness is awesome because it's only available the first time you place an order with Shaklee. But what's cool is like you don't have to buy a specific package. And I think that's another thing that's really neat is like whatever your customer wants is great. You're not going to get like a certain number of success points. It's all like whatever the amount you sell, which is awesome because it really gives you the freedom to meet your customer where they are instead of feeling like you want to pressure them into something just because you get a certain amount of Success Club points. So we love that too. Um, but yeah, that pretty much wraps it up, you guys. And we are just so grateful that you took the time to listen to why we are loving Shaklee. And if you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to the person who invited you. We are open books. And at the end of the day, we just want you to feel so confident about your decision because only you are going to know what's best for you and your family. But we do hope we get to work with you at Shaklee because I do feel that you would absolutely love it here, just like we do. But if there's anything else that you're curious about, just feel free to reach out. We'd love to get you connected with any more information that would be helpful in you making your decision. Just gonna make sure there's no questions. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording. And if there are any questions, we can open it up for a few minutes if anyone has anything. Otherwise,